And Morocco making history, beating France to advance to the final as well in a penalty shootout. So we'll be bringing you those highlights, and we'll be having so much conversation around those lights. And then also NBA preseason, it's ongoing, and a whole lot has been happening. It seems as if the playoffs is what they started with this season, because no team is backing down. We are seeing steals, we're seeing crossovers, we're seeing ankles being snatched, and we're seeing dunks all over. Trade also happened, which is still shocking. Durant joined the Houston Rockets, and he has been very instrumental. Golden State Warriors faced Denver Nuggets, and Denver Nuggets dominated the Golden State Warriors. On the other note, Maverick Dallas, Anthony Davis, and Klay Thompson were also traded tackles with Los Angeles Lakers, and LeBron James was also on the pitch of play this time. But we'll get you all in touch with all of these actions, the highlights of the games from earlier this morning, and also the major conversation, which is Nigeria loses 2030 Commonwealth game bid to India, which is so shocking. A whole lot. This is like the second time in a row that Nigeria is losing bids to two different countries. Let me bring you up to speed with the report. India has been confirmed as the host of the century edition of the Commonwealth Games in 2030, beating Nigerians Abuja to the right after a competitive bid process that came down to the wire. The city of Ahmedabad, located in the western state of Gujarat, was chosen ahead of Nigeria's capital by the Executive Board of Commonwealth Sport on late Wednesday night, rather. The decision, which is expected to be formally rectified during the organization's General Assembly in Oslo on November the 26th, will see the game return to India for the first time since Delhi hosted them in 2010. Harvard's successfully bid was built around world-class infrastructure, yes, including the Narendra Modi Stadium, the largest sports venue on the planet with a capacity of 132,000 capacity, which famously hosted the 2023 Cricket World Cup finals with a population of over 5 million people and a growing sporting profile. The city has even been touted as a potential future for Olympic Games hosting right in the nearest future. This is very, very interesting coming from India. And now, look at the major concerns around the fact that Nigeria lost the hosting rights. Infrastructure, in caps, please. Infrastructure. We need to, for us to host them, yes. Some persons actually have reacted to the fact that Nigeria were even bidding for it, given the fact that we don't have a whole lot of, Nigeria doesn't have a whole lot of infrastructural development in the activities of sport. And now, though the federal government made promise to the Commonwealth Games organization that yes, Nigeria is working towards improving, but they came and then they saw and they were not satisfied. Point blank, they were not satisfied with the infrastructural development that they are seeing here in Nigeria, and then they decided to settle for India, where they can see a whole lot of infrastructural development being happening. And then India has shown a track record of hosting a world-class event. That's talking about the Cricket World Cup in 2023, and also the capacity of their stadium is 130,000, not the MK Abiola Stadium here in Abuja, which is also going to host a reasonable amount of people, but there are a whole lot of factors that were put into achieving and then giving this bid to India. So we'll see how all of this pans out. Nigeria would definitely work towards improving her own infrastructural equipment, stadiums and all, so as to get the right to host when next, this Commonwealth Games is coming around the corner. So moving on now, let's talk football quickly as Cristiano Ronaldo is close on his 1,000 goal career. Portugal and Al Nassr striker Cristiano Ronaldo is on the verge of achieving a milestone on male football, which footballer has ever reached 1,000 career goals. No male footballer has ever reached 1,000 career goals, and then Cristiano Ronaldo is looking to achieving that, according to report. Following his recent brace against Hungary in the World Cup qualifiers, the Portuguese legend has now scored a staggering 948 goals across club and international competition, 805 at club level and 143 for Portugal. He also became the all-time leading scorer in World Cup qualifying history, surpassing Carlos Ruiz on 39, with Lionel Messi third on the list with 36. Ronaldo turned 40 in February, but he continues to rack up impressive numbers at club level as well as international, albeit against weaker oppositions in Saudi Arabia, where he has scored 104 goals in 117 appearances across 4 seasons with Al Nassr. Cristiano Ronaldo actually in the podcast said his goal is to reach 1,000. His goal is to reach 1,000 goals before he retires totally from the world of football. Now he's just 52 goals away from that. Now World Cup is here, club football is still here, but we'll see how all of this will pan out for him, because in the season he gets to score around 25 to 30 goals, and now we are seeing him, getting himself ready to score more and score more before he retires. By next year, 2026, I think he's going to be around 41, which this World Cup might be his last World Cup, but you never can tell. Him and LeBron James are not looking to say goodbye to the world of sports. LeBron James will be turning 40 next year, and he's still not having the conversation of either leaving or staying. So we'll see how all of this pans out. But for Cristiano Ronaldo, congratulations on reaching 948 goals, and we are hoping to see that you advance further in this, prestigious journey of yours. So let's move on now. Burkina Faso's Yango slams FIFA CAF after Eagles World Cup playoff qualification. We're talking about Steve Yango now, who is a defender for Burkina Faso. Steve Yango has voiced his frustration over Burkina Faso's failure to reach the CAF playoffs for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, questioning how Nigeria advanced ahead of his country despite their strong qualifying campaign. Following Nigerians' 4-0 win over Benin, which sealed their place in the playoffs, Yango took to his Instagram and X account to express his discontent with the qualification format, describing the outcome as unfair. He says, "Honestly, it's strange. You win your match. Your match is against the weakest team in your group, and yet Nigeria is ahead of you, even though they did not even beat Zimbabwe, the bottom side in their group." Looking at it now, he said, apparently beating the last place team is too conventional. Thank you, CAF and FIFA. With my career coming to an end, I will study the system so I can criticize it properly, he says. Burkina Faso had celebrated a 3-1 victory over Ethiopia, believing it was enough to secure a playoff spot, only to discover that Nigeria had engaged them out on goal difference after both nations finished with identical adjusted points. Under CAF's qualification regulations, results against the bottom team in each group are not considered when calculating the best 4 runners up. So, Steve, if you can hear me, these are the apparatus that were used to calculate the points. So Nigeria then, cut corners on goal difference. Nigeria is topping. Not just even South Africa, which qualified, properly with points. Nigeria is still topping, is still leading South Africa in terms of goal difference. Nigeria is also leading Burkina Faso in terms of goal difference, and some other countries as well. So looking at it from those lights now, probably he wanted more based on the fact that his team finished number 3rd. So in their standings, that is not just enough for him to, criticize and look at Nigeria and say, yes, Nigeria also has some concerns and they couldn't even beat Zimbabwe, but that is not the bone of contention. The bone of contention is Nigeria had an advantage ahead of Burkina Faso, which is what made Nigeria advance further. But still, he can also study properly, so as if he's criticizing, he will definitely criticize properly. So moving on from the World Cup qualifiers and players that will be coming up in Morocco from 13th to the 16th of November, where Nigeria will be facing Gabon, which will be a very, very critical outing, and Nigeria has to win to clinch their ticket to the World Cup. So let's talk World Cup. Under 20 World Cup, Nigerian Flying Eagles have bowed out from the competition, and obviously, the competition is still ongoing, where on the 20 World Cup, Argentina beat Colombia 1-0 to book final spot against Morocco. Argentina and Morocco are set for the final clash of the 2025 FIFA Under 20 World Cup after edging Colombia 1-0 in their semi-final. In their Argentina in their final game on Thursday. The Argentines' victory is thanks to Morato Silva's 74th minute goal and the crucial red card that left the Colombians a man down late at the Centenario Stadium. The Palestinian created pace on the right and delivered an assist that salvaged the slammed home from the center of the box, giving Argentina the lead at the intense phase of the matchup. Colombia pushed for an equalizer but could not break down the Argentine defense. With victory, Morocco will on Monday, October the 20th, battle for championship with Argentina, who is reaching final for the 8th time, having won the competition on its record 6 occasions. The club made history to qualify for their first final, the third African country after Ghana and Nigeria. Okay, we're bringing you the highlights of the game, but shortly let me bring you up to speed with how Morocco beat France on penalties to reach Under 20 World Cup final. Morocco held their nerve to beat France on penalties and reach the final of FIFA Under 20 World Cup after a gripping 1-1 draw that lasted 120 minutes at the Brandon Stadium. The North Africans won the shootout 6-5 on Wednesday. That will await the winner of Colombia and Argentina, and then Argentina has advanced further, which in a very dramatic fashion all of these actions happened. So now let's bring you the highlights between the game between Argentina